budget allocation for the last 4 years of only 1.3 billion, sir. But what they've signed up was 12.9 billion.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yes, sir. Although some of those contracts have not performed yet.
Yeah, thank you. That's the message I wanted. 12 billion kwacha signed for contracts entered into for feeder roads. Contracts were given to people who have never owned a shovel or a pick. They don't know how to construct roads. But some were paid 20% in advance. And they sit in that parliament making noise. Very courageous people. I'm sure in a genetic material, they were made to have Dutch courage. If it were me, I would not even open my mouth in that parliament. I know that I was given a contract when I'm not a contractor. I'm a public officer, and I never delivered 5 kilometers, but I got paid. That's the money which they were flashing, which you saw before elections. And I can sit in that parliament and talk. I wouldn't say a word. I'll be so embarrassed. But since shame is not shared equally amongst us, God made us differently, we have to enforce measures to collect that money. Minister of Local Government, I heard you talk in the House. You ended in the air there. You should have gone down to say that money is coming back to the Treasury. That's why they're making noise in that House called Parliament and touting us and saying, we're still running the country. Let's see. Let's see who is running the country. So in your area, this workshop is meant to encourage you to move to recover that money. But the question is that, how did the Attorney General approve those contracts? That's the question. Which chief government lawyer can approve contracts like that? I'm asking you so you can see in your mind why you are seated here. So why you are seated here. So we're ministers now, then giving themselves contracts. You have PSCs that allow that. Then you have Attorney General that signed off those contracts. Then you have the Ministry of Finance, somehow, you have, I've got this for delivery. The Public Finance Management Act. The whole system colluded to cheat the people of Zambia. Icona, man. Icona. No. That's not correct. That's not correct. I return to agriculture. We do an audit. The suppliers who were paid in full and never delivered fertilizer are now mocking us. So you ordered more fertilizer because they did not supply 37% of the fertilizer, because Western Province, Southern, and parts of Lusaka were designed not to receive any fertilizer in the 2021-2022 season by deliberate decision. And you say you run a country, an equitable country. Which equitable country are you running? Or which equity are you using to run a country? Now they are mocking us that, no, we supply the fertilizer. And they're in the streets. The PS who signed letters to authorize payment against the contract is now colluding with the suppliers to mock the government, the new government. What is that? Systems have collapsed. But back to Attorney General, how is it that you cleared those contracts? How is it that money was paid, PSs? The feeder roads contracts, money was being paid from local government or from finance directly? From? Right.
Mr. President.
Are they here today? They're not here. So we have a debt with them. We have a debt with them. How did that happen? There was no control anymore. My dear colleagues, ministers, these are the ministry have taken over because NFRA comes under which ministry?
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was President Hichilema during the workshop that he had with ministers and permanent secretaries. So obviously we heard him talking about the clique of thieves that have been stealing a lot of money from Zambians, and they didn't even get to do anything. They just got the money and they didn't deliver as per agreement. So when is the new Don government going to be able to make these arrests? Because we know that they know where these people are. And the president said the people who actually got these contracts are even in parliament busy making noise. So just think about the audacity. But my question, and what a lot of Zambians are asking, is what is the new Don government doing about it? Are there going to be any arrests? Is something going to happen? So when are we going to see any action? Because the new Don government, Mwaranda Sana, it's already been more than 3 months. There's been no action. So the Zambian people are already now fed up. Okay, so we're going to talk about a lot of things, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you, because there are a lot of you. We've got over 600 people watching us. Good evening. How are you doing? It's always good to see your lovely faces. I hope we know, and you already know Z Corner is the community TV station that really relies on your help. So one of the ways that you can help us, feel better is by sharing this video. So kindly hit the like button and share this video on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups that you belong to, because that really helps us get motivated to come here on a daily basis and just basically give you the authentic, real raw news. So without further ado, we're also going to be talking about Bowman Lusambo, because Bowman Lusambo has obviously received some redemption from the Concourt, the Constitutional Court, because at least something has gone his way, because for the past few days Bowman Lusambo was getting a lot of L's, but finally he has flipped those L's and he's turned them into W's. So at least something exciting is coming Bowman Lusambo's way. So it's obviously exciting for him. We're also going to be talking about how the government can get to prevent corruption, because the procurement value chain is something that has been lacking in Zambia. And of course, we have seen the fiscal and the monetary policies being fine-tuned, because President Hichilema is really, really big with regards to government expenditure, especially when it comes to fiscal policies. So this is one of the reasons why he's holding these workshops with these different ministers and permanent secretaries, just to let them know that the procurement line is very important with regards to fighting corruption and just basically getting to save a lot of money. So how is GRZ going to be able to safeguard the procurement value chain? Then Zambia Airways is finally back. I'm sure you guys already saw the pictures. Zambia Airways, we are finally going to have our own airline. We used to have this way back. I'm sure I'm sure you guys were privileged enough to have had known about the Zambian Airways. So Zambians have reacted to this type of information, and I want to find out from you. Of course, not Dumanati in Dekabakwete, Shisasa. The planes they're very questionable, but at least it's something. So what do you think about the Zambia Airways? Are we going to be able to compete with the Ethiopian Airways and just basically make a name for ourselves? Then we're also going to be talking about the new health guidelines, because Apaso Amaru's Napa with regards to health guidelines. I'm sure you have read the new rules. So I just want to find out, how is this going to affect a lot of Zambians, and what do you think about this? So in the meantime, let me just allow some more people to come through. Brother Oscar, how are you doing? How's Italy? So I really hope that you guys are sharing this video. Otherwise, anytime you Z's corner. Good evening, brother Oscar. How you doing?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Muna. How are you? I'm okay. It's cold, but it's a good time. We have already entered in winter, so it's lovely. It's cold. It was snowing this morning.
So, brother Oscar, do you think the new Don government is taking too long? Because I'm a Zambian store naka. Toanaka, it's been more than 100 days. We know these people who've been stealing. We actually sit with them in parliament and they are making a lot of noise. But when are they going to arrest them and why are they delaying?
Well, I think you have said the truth. You have interpreted very well the Zambian feelings and some sort of disappointments, Zambian disappointments. It's very funny. On one side, our new Dawn government, the Zambians themselves, we have agreed that the last government really messed up and they really plundered the country resources and there was too much violence. There's no freedom. I mean, even
and just look at this comment right over here from Rib. He says, "I almost died out of depression with the PF government, but now I'm at peace knowing that the country is safe, is in safe hands." But there's one problem. You see, since there are no arrests and there isn't any follow-up to these people who were doing these things, right? These people have got a likelihood of bouncing back and just being able to grab power, because the more the new Dawn government delays, the more these people get stronger. So we have to be very careful. You know, if no arrests are going to be made, these guys are going to regroup and they'll be back, and people are going to be going back into depression. Anyway, Brother Oscar, continue.
Yeah, so on one hand, the Zambians and the PF themselves, even the PF has acknowledged that they messed up. There was too much violence, terrorism. There's no rule of law. There's nothing. They have acknowledged that. Now, what is happening? Why not yet? Arrests are not yet been done. But we need to be realistic in this, Mr. Mona. We are dealing with judges. Some of the judges, or most of the judges, were chosen by Edgar Sagolungo. Most of them. The police, for 7, I would add even Sata's years, for 10 years, for the past 10 years, these people have been loyal to the PF. They've been loyal to the PF. So it's not a job. It's not a job. It's hard to comment on this because somebody would think maybe I'm trying to divide the Zambians. I'm not trying to divide the Zambians, but insofar
we're just trying to advocate for justice.
Yes, insofar as governance is concerned, when you fail, you step down or you stay aside when you fail. It's a common logic. It's a common sense. You fail, you step aside. You let the new people try to govern. Even in a company fails. Well, they changed the directors and everyone. They have to change. It doesn't say that the others are useless. No, they have failed. As simple as that. So, what is happening? We are dealing with people who are somehow, some of them I cannot doubt myself. Some of them, they are still loyal to the PF. The people who are handling these cases.
But Brother Oscar, whether people are still loyal to the PF, we've got the new Dawn in power. And this is something that we talked about yesterday with Brother Tonga, because it really seems the new Dawn government is they're playing defensive instead of playing offensive. But more opposition. So that's why divine intervention, because clearly the president did talk about the huge colossal sums of money with regards to the feeder roads. That money was just and these people are even in parliament. But the president is talking about that at the workshop. Why not lobby for faster approach with regards to ACC, DEC, and other stuff? Because clearly the contract was breached. When you sign a contract and you get 20% payment upfront and you don't really get to deliver, right? You have clearly breached the contract, and that is illegal. Unless nimpena na bando wanshire tontonka bueno. But if you sign dotted lines.
What about if that command came from the superior, well, the commander in chief? What about, is that an hypothesis? Because if it's come from high, Somebody can just follow it, and it's a command.
So you're saying that maybe those feeder road contracts were being sort of shielded by powers that may, that, you know,
My dear,
some
I cannot explain. It's very difficult to explain this. Our president is asking himself a question. Why are these people still talking? It's a very good
but he's the president. Like, who is he asking? He's asking who?
But he is the president, and he has some authority to even command that something extraordinary can be done. You know, Mr. Muna, I was also thinking about the 100 years of UPND, especially Hakainde Hichilema and
100 days. Yes, 100 days. You're saying 100 years.
100 days. Sorry, 100 days.
When it's you, Mazet, they want UPND to be
Maybe it's the prophecy. You'll stay 100 years in power. Maybe. Okay, so I'm saying this 100 days, I was trying to also analyze what has been wrong, this and that. What is the problem with our vice president, Mrs. W. Nalumango, and our president, Hakainde Hichilema? I was asking myself some questions, and I was trying to think, is it because these people are just too religious? You know, Mr. Muna, I come from the Catholic experience of Christianity, from Catholic Church. We distinguish those who are in the clergy. They are not supposed to be part of political responsibilities like ministers, whatever president. No, you have to decide, or you are a clergy, or you resign, and then you be part of those responsibilities. Why does the Catholic Church distinguish the two works? Because it's very difficult to put the two jobs together. Our mother, Nalumango, very, very good woman, but we need justice. When she's going to implement the justice, the people would say, reverend. You know, I am asking myself a question. Is this an impediment?
Brother Oscar, you see, the vice president she has been elected by the majority of Zambians. I mean, we elected this team, this cabinet, to carry out certain functionalities on behalf of the Zambian people. She shouldn't be taking it personal. Then she's making decisions on a personal basis. They have to understand that these decisions are being made for each and every Zambian out there. So they shouldn't be like, yo, the paper, ifunde, lifunde. The law is the law. There's nothing like religion, yeah. But if they're not prepared, it's better they just resign and then give it up to other people who can easily carry out these functions. There has to be a clean demarcation between your personal feelings and what needs to be done as far as the law is concerned. We shouldn't even be mixing it. Why am I here? Why are the people of Zambia funding and facilitating for the privileges that I have? So you have to conduct your job and execute.
Yes, you are. That's definitely true, and that is why the Zambians now are very much disappointed, because they're asking questions. What is our president waiting for? Our president was asking the main members of parliament, the cabinet, and the DSs, or district commissioners, DCs. He was asking them, what are you waiting for? Look at the cases. He underlined, he made some examples, some concrete examples of some cases pending. And he was asking them questions. What are you waiting for? Now, I go back to the question of the magistrate, the police, the courts, and the police themselves, Mr. Muna. What are they waiting for? What is so difficult for the police to execute some arrests? I cannot answer, of course, this question. I can just ask how I would love to ask a person who is working in the police forces, what is wrong? What is wrong? We have thousands of evidence. Thousands of evidence. What is happening? Listen, Mamuna. Nachimona ififya chuma sala ndapo paliwa Bowman Lusambo abo bagaya abo ati waumfako bwino tefyo.
At least bapupwa komwela.
Look at the law. We are talking about the law. So law ilanda shan atawe unless Bowman was found such a thing. We saw in Kabushi there was violence. Yes, we have videos to evidence that even the police with those, how do you call those delinquents from Kabushi?
The NATO forces.
NATO forces. Excuse me, please. What type of evidence are they waiting for? What type of evidence? That somebody was seen shooting. We have the evidence. If that stand in the court of law, let UPND take Chishimba Kambwili. Please take Chishimba Kambwili. He's going to speak against Bowman Lusambo.
There's already a confession from Chimbakambwili. It's there online. We've played it like 1,000 times.
Yes. So what are we waiting for? Now the question
should beat up.
Okay,
but brother Oscar, let me play the devil's advocate because I like doing that. Okay,
yes.
Granted. The president says he doesn't want to, tamper with these things. So there shouldn't be any political factor driving the work of the SEC and the DEC. But it seems the SEC and the DEC, they are taking too long. Yeah, to the extent where the president starts complaining about it at the workshop. So it means there is inefficiency somewhere. Could it be DEC and could it be SEC or whoever is supposed to be conducting these investigations? If that's the case, let's reshuffle the team since they are too lazy and they are too full to conduct their businesses. Let's put some other young bloods who are eager to, to execute because apparently they are too relaxed. So we need somebody who can execute.
Yes. No, Muna, look at what they have done. That period, the grace period which our president gave them, say, well, I'm not going to change the team. First of all, we have to wait a bit. You remember that period. Permanent secretaries, ambassadors, all those people, to change them, the president took too much time. And these people, they have even their lawyers. If these people, they have the lawyers like the one from Kabushi, or from Kawe, who is that Tutu Angurube. If they have their lawyers like those people there, these people, they have sat down. They have studied the cases. How do we prolong these cases? How do we defend ourselves? They know the cases that they have. They know the crimes they have committed. They know everything. And they are studying how to defend themselves. The declaration of nullity of many MPs, they are going to be defended by these guys because they have studied. Look at this. If there is no evidence, if you don't bring the evidence that the candidate was directly involved in this aggression or this violence, if you don't present that, then there is no evidence enough. Now, even in Northern Province, it's going to be the same thing. They are going to petition here and there, counter petition, and as long as if Bowman Lusambo is going back and grabbing back his parliamentary seat, then we have to just forget about everything. It's very sad.
So, for example, there's a classic example about the 42 fire trucks that were bought for 42 million. Surely, Nanguta Pasoswa, brother Oscar, guide me, Nanguta Pasoswa. If you do, what evidence do you need? Sure.
You see, here, I was looking at the prices here in Italy. We don't buy them at 48 million one, is it? How much?
42 fire trucks for $42 million. Meaning
one
fire truck was 1 million. Okay, let's play the devil's advocate. Let's say shipping and transportation. So hypothetically,
Vamuna such type of a truck to transport that type of a trucking and therefore quite expensive. To allow couple $20,000. Ngana wako for expensive. $20,000 to ship one truck, costing the so-called 1 million cost. Which it's not like that, because here a new one, a brand new one, Vamuna, it costs it costs 370 million, 370 thousand euros. A new brand one, new one, not 1 million, dollars.
Papa. This is one of the reasons why people have started even, just blatantly pointing at people saying, abo ba kampion gwabo, abo bali cha efin tutamode basta arrested. People have just become so fed up. Now I'm okay, new dawn. Kudiba kampiongo. They did this and that. So anyway, let's bring in the Reverend, because he didn't be today. Family Christians. Reverend Wadia, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
We're very good. Here we've got a hypothesis saying the new Dawn government, they are too good. They are too much of Christians. So since you're a reverend, by the way, are you a real reverend?
Yes, I am the reverend from Pentecostal Assemblies of God Church in Zambia. I did theology and public health. Yes.
Okay, sir. So, do you believe that Christians or clergymen, do you believe that they are capable of executing with regards to measures like arresting culprits? Because it seems they are hesitating because forgive one another and turn the left and the right cheek. So you as a reverend, if you were appointed, would you expeditiously arrest people who have been stealing from the poor Zambians?
Yeah, good evening, panelist. Thank you so much. And that was a brother from UK. I don't know if I'm from UK. Really, I think you have heard from the president himself. He has said they are gathering the information. They are gathering information, and that's to answer the question. Yes, law is law. When you find the nation, each nation has been guided or has got its own norms or its own laws. So that's why everyone is supposed to be subjected to that law. Now, in this case, the new Dawn government, the president said, you are not guilty until proven what? Guilty in the court of the law.
So have these cases been taken? Well, have they taken these issues to court?
I think, let me say, Zambians have been too, I think we are so much in hurry. Because there are many cases that has gone to, like today. Let me clarify.
All right.
Ichakukonko lubilo. Vachikonko lubilo. Mwaumva ba reverend. Ichakukonko vachikonko lubilo. Tekula indanga nangu kwa ulwe. Awe.
Listen to my point. There are many cases that have gone to the court of law. Like we talk of today, Judiciary has sued the Anti-Corruption Commission. Okay, they don't want to have issues where we say they enter into Nole. Okay.
Let me
So
interject.
what needs to be done
Reverend,
is
those feeder
no,
roads
yeah,
were paid for. 20% upfront was paid for. I'm a feeder roads takudi. Zero, nada, zilch, takudi. They paid for those feeder roads. But imisavo takudi. What evidence do you need?
yes, but this is the thing. This is the thing. I think if you heard the vice president in parliament, she said they're coming. Okay, what we need to exercise is a bit of patience. A bit of patience because one, you take someone to court, and you know that the government they have been spending a lot of money on this Nole cases. We go to court, but the states don't have enough evidence. These are the
But imisavo tapadi, vari ripira.
things
What evidence do you want?
I think they want to avoid.
You see, Mr. Muna.
Yes, I think my Reverend internet
Internet is not very good. But Mr. Muna, me, I'm against the position of for the Reverend. I am totally against. I am not saying, we are not suggesting that they arrest each and every culprit or each and every suspect. We are saying there are too much evidence and too many scandals which have been even recorded. They are under record. Too many scandals under record. Turotuma motoka mwati ukisha turotuma ambulance turotuka choko mutuita tricycle whatever. What are those things? Tatwaenda no kwenda. Look at that. Yes, hello ama trucks if you kusendera mo if my tankers, fuel tankers. The story behind those things. Tatabalondolola. The story, the scandal of buses bought for youth empowerment. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. And if there is a reluctant in executing these cases, my doubt is the quality of our judges. That's my doubt. Because the evidence is there, Mwewantu. Young people, our Zambians, the poor Zambians, when they steal a cob of maize, they are arrested, then they go to prison, they go to Kamfinsa by stealing just an underpant, I don't know, a cigarette. They are in Kamfinsa prison. These people are the evidence is there. We have an abundance and a shameful number of evident situations and cases. Question: ine nalai na nalaba kwati ni devil's advocate wa mona nalai pusha ine our president. Difficult to kwete we show wafi obo tusangirepo. Is it does this imply that some of the UPND people are also involved? That's a question nalai pusha. If they are not involved, what is happening? Tatwa bapata wa kampiongo, but kampiongo made mistakes. Ba kampiongo na be nanga bale fokukana. Tabapeli abantu ama nani kana ama national registration was kampiongo was the nani kan def minister.
Home Affairs Minister.
Home Affairs Minister. Bonse bada kudwa pro kokwisa I don't ama evidence yepo ya department pa social networking abalefu atwambye okufunya tufunye tubike onse tubike nomba
volunteer.
Yes, to alata volunteer nefya gassing na alikwata na video ya they were going to visit the cadres homes pretending that they are chasing criminals who wanted to gas the cadres, but it was just a fake thing. We have understood the story afterwards. They have ordered in Quito, walesta order ati temeni amataba yonse panto ababene abaleipa abantu mu balewe lama. Silly things, such things they are ordering. poor people. So we want money. Ama evidence. If it was nana devil's advocate. Therefore, kula shine ba president besu be never HH. Ama powers, he has some extraordinary powers, some powers which are invested in him, his position. I will also ask our president a question. What are you waiting for? What is our president waiting for? Ministers, there's a law. We have to wait for the law. We have to wait until we have to do the investigations. Investigations. Nabakwata, Hakainde Hichilema has the details here for the Gulf Stream. Our president Hakainde Hichilema has all the data. What is our president waiting for to disclose to the Zambian people what went wrong, what went around that buying of that plane? Because the data is in President Hakainde Hichilema's office.
Definitely. Hello, brother Oscar. Then for the office, with regards to making these processes very fast. Now I thought State House. I've just forgotten the name of the office that has been taken to State House that really allows for the execution of such functionalities very fast. So all the tools are in their hands. But of course, we understand the president is very methodical. Yes, we understand, but the clock is ticking. And the other thing that the UPNG, just like I keep on telling them, is they do not have time. Number one, the Zambian economy is going to be shattered. Already we are seeing prime examples of this, and we are preparing for this because all these guidelines that they are putting in place, right, they are really going to disrupt how people make money. So, mukabe chipo anombarine, Muzambia, mukabe ensala and all that stuff. And then the people of Zambia are going to be saying, when you don't government, what did we bring you here for? Because today, churi la coffee, business, na ishupa, and all that stuff. And on top of that, you're not even apprehending the people who stole from the people of Zambia. So then why did we have a change in government if the economy is becoming worse, by the way, which is not even their problem because this is coronavirus situation. We already know how disruptive it is. You already know what happens to the economy when these guidelines are put in place. So the economy is going to be shattered, and these people are still going to be free. So the people of Zambia are going to be thinking, what did we do? Did we spend all that time for nothing? So this is one of the reasons why they need to work fast. We understand they're trying to be methodical. They're trying to make sure that everything is put in place, but at least give us something. There are cases where there is blatant evidence, multiple heaps of evidence, which you don't even need to be like a rocket scientist. Anyway, Brother Jason, welcome to the show. Unmute yourself. Now we can hear you.
Thank you so much, Brother Oscar. It's good to see. Yes, it's good to see you today. How is Italy?
Thank you. It's very cold, but it's lovely. Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Okay, we just have extreme temperatures here. It is not raining as it should be.
Okay.
You know, Brother Muna, today I'm so distressed to see. I saw something. I don't know whether it is true or not, where it said that this guy, Bowman Lusambo, has been scot-free. The Constitution Court actually has ruled in his favor. So I don't know, is it true or they are just stories?
No. That's not really the actual case. So anyway, keep on talking. Let me find the actual write-up. So I'll show it to you.
Okay. To be frank, new Don government, maybe they are trying to be too rational, whereby they need to have too much information and too much time. But what we can just advise, they should remember that there was Mwanawasa who came in in full force to fight corruption. What happened to Mwanawasa? Mwanawasa didn't finish the term. There was Sata. Sata came in also with an idea of fighting corruption. What happened to Sata? So what I'm trying to say is, but President be careful, because he should even look at the faces of the people that he's trying to address. When they just mention of the scraping off of the allowance, you saw what the atmosphere that was there in the meeting. So, President and the entourage UPND, they need to consider about their safety. If they are not going to be swift in executing some of these issues, because like you are saying, Oscar, there are too much evidence, honestly speaking, to point at. And what are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? Because if they are going to waste much of their time, they are going to risk their lives. Bakabwala tabako atoluse. Bakabwala make sure that he cover up so that he's scot-free. So if they are going to take it that way, they are too Christian and the like. No. Actually, in Christianity, one of the principles is that a sin has to be punished. A sin has to be punished. There is an evidence. So there is nothing like 70 times 7. No. We are going to put a lot of lives in danger. We are going to put the lives of Zambians in danger, because these guys, as we are waiting, we don't know what they are planning. So that should be in their mind. We are reminding you, UPND. We know that you are watching us and you are listening to what we are saying. There is evidence. But if you are going to take these things for granted, if you are going to be so soft with these people, there are people that they are ruthless. They are ruthless, of which it should be born in your mind to say that was Mwanawasa. Mwanawasa tried to fight corruption. There was Sata tried to fight corruption. So yoni omwe kifena mipela ko ino nde michinkulako so that ndimwala kwa tokusalapuka. And according to myself, because this guy is trying to like I don't know how they would want to appear. Tuifisenda na bakabwala la tuifisenda sana kwa chiri mitrefu kubonza sana eskuru no. Iskuru again nga mwalibika mo tulisende sana tumone kwa chi we are trying to investigate this and that. No. Information we have, but we don't have to factor in too much time to investigate these people and get them arrested. I think for now I rest my case, Brother Muna.
Brother Jason, it is simple. Umusebo variripira kwari contract ya kupanga ma federals, right? The money was paid. There was a 20% upfront money which was paid. Ngo Musebo ulikuisa kuya na prape no po vare fo ngo Musebo ulikuisa Musebo tepari Musebo case closed.
That's why, Brother Muno, for abama guys, that's why our carry puka vare liramwe. When I heard that
abakasaka kandala
na chikalipa Brother Muno chako batu wisa kwata tempa bamadam bare ndetere fyakulya kushopu atara don't have. How do you honestly pay too much dollars kulina abantu abalefu ala masamu kwiti balefu anensala, and there are other guys signing up contracts and the like. And they street kids wingi. Look at that, Brother Moon. Look at that.
Wingi. Abalefwa in hospitals because of the lack of adequate equipment. And then people audacity. You pay them upfront vajandempia. Palas mamba kokula mitine because they are riding ama VX in a Land Cruiser from your money. And this money is coming from the people, the hardworking people like you, but Jason, munabomba mula dipira tax, that money bademi janda, irea kubanto, and these people are getting away.
You can imagine, Brother Muna, honestly speaking. That's why even the president, he was so frustrated that honestly speaking, you could even go into parliament and make a lot of noise, when you know that we have hidden huge sums of money, which we have never done anything, honestly speaking. And again, they are even ridiculing the New Dawn government to say Tabare Bomba, and they are still pushing for some payment over something which they have never worked, honestly speaking.
Imagine. But gentlemen, do you think the hands of the president are tied? Why do you think he's going to the extent of talking about these things in public without actually getting to do anything? Do you think he's got limited powers with regards to getting these culprits apprehended? What?
Bamuna, efo nsangria pakwati ba president besu, kwati akali skulu sana. Hello, you know he's an economist, so he's trying to take things, all things like rational. We need to gather a lot of information. We need to take time in pursuing these issues. So that they are trying to, you know, I don't know how I can take it. But what they should understand is that these guys, they are not guys because ababantu actually ngababa konkerera balabona olaba UPND. They are the same people who start saying to say, look at this New Dawn government. They are just good at talking, but they are not executing because there is no money, Muchalo, Brother Muna. And with the coming of the fourth wave, we don't know what is going to happen. Now, already what is happening? I'm a flight bans. The whole entire of Southern Africa. And what we expect, and yet we are looking at people Brother Moon.
And on top of that, so mocking us.
The president has to move in so quick, so that these guys are investigated, interrogated, and arrested if they are found guilty.
So, Brother Jason, you talked about Bowman Lusambo. So here's the situation. According to this information that we're having, right? In this matter, Concourt Judge Palan Mulonda has ruled that Lusambo can be joined to the matter where a UPND member has asked the court to reduce the criteria for proving corruption or abuse in an election. So here, they're just going to reduce the criteria for saying that yo bade won't feel violence and all that stuff, but Bowman Lusambo tabara fuma pa nani papa mensha yakaba na ichiri. It's just that the criteria has been softened. You know, so according to this, right, let me just read that for you. Currently, the Zambian law demands that a losing candidate petitioning the winner must prove that the winner was physically present. Okay, so Bowman Lusambo wasn't physically physically present. Physically present
yesterday we dwelled much on discussing of a cleaning up of the system, because you know in the judiciary it's like there are still other guys actually who are even advising to put in tuma loopholes so that those guys at the end of the day they are going to be scapegoat.
Yes, that is there is no doubt. There is no doubt. That is absolutely true. We have no doubt. You listen. Okay. Touch this all. What was the PF plan to rule Zambia for almost close to 100 years, something like that? That was their plan. In ruling Zambia, that's why they now wanted also, there was a so-called Bill 10. It was aimed in changing those clauses we are supposed to change. On the panel, we were going to be changing or to be confirming the president just by a simple majority. Simple majority. It would have been just saying awere lepo pampando.
The delimitation process yama constituencies.
Yes. Then
Gabani South yama constituencies ku Southern province ifingi batwala ku Northern na kulwa poda.
We know all these things, we know. Number. What I'm trying to say is, okay, Balefaya Tama concrete evidence. Let's take Utuma registering yotubana kulwapula na kula kwine kunanikane parliamentary seat yabo ba kampyongo atikwiso. What's the name?
Chiwangandu.
Chiwangandu, there is evidence that bali bapela bai chotubana bali bapela ba UPND na ba pumwine kula ku Chiwangandu kulia. They have this evidence. The evidence, you don't need 100. You need one evidence. One, it's enough. Just one, it's enough. Giving to a minor national registration card kuya mwipusha udawine udiowa wa mudembeshe walabena balembeshe na bena bakayazala. Kuikata pofe babiri. Baikata pofe babiri chapo nishmwa ikato mutu no mutu mkaya ikata. Why are they not even arresting you? Balabale tukana yo, I'm going to forgive on the land drain. Problem yaba Hakainde Hichilema bushe. The question, key question in fellowship. Forever kuchechi, we use the word fellowship. Atikute mwako friendly na enemy na friend. Forever kuchechi. Na my brother, also you like quoting Bible. You see, when you are a Christian, you say, Jesus Christ forgive. That's what we say. But to rule the country, kuba kwa kapondo pa no.
Exactly.
Kuba kwa kapondo pa no. Because can you tell me, Mr. Man, kuno ku Italy, this is the kuno kwa the Roman Empire, kuno kwa the tomb of St. Peter, the tomb of St. Paul, the tomb of St. Andrew. Guys, once in Manda Shabushaba mu Italy, we go there to pray on these tombs. But question, Mwalimunapo a reverend guiding the Italian government? No. Why? Why? Because you have to distinguish the two things. I'm going to forgive you. Ruling a country. No, you apply the constitution and you apply the law. Not my faith. I don't have to apply my faith. How? Because Hakainde Hichilema munene fo babachitire no mbayi psychologically naba babika kukona ba boss base ati
brother Mpombo. I think what he should remember, no wonder he was given that briefcase of instruments of power. That meant because you know that's why there is even an orientation on how we should be running the country. Belief system he has to stand firm as a president so that at least he sees that every one of us in the country, is protected. Being a father, he has to just apply the law and the constitution. Being a Christian, we are not saying aside. We are requesting the application of law and the constitution on the culprits, not on the innocent people.
Yes.
Because if we say we are pushing him to apply the law on the innocent people, that's where now people can rise and start finger pointing to say,
yes, that's not what we're saying.
Why is he behaving otherwise? You see, that's no wonder. If you remember the fellow panelists, we were complaining as the Christians to say it is like these guys, the PF, are trying to use Christianity and that whatever national day of prayer to put butter on our faces. Because they were claiming to say these are Christians, but look at what they are doing to innocent individuals. But we are the President Hakainde Hichilema, brother Pombo. There is nothing like it. We know. Now, Bible King Solomon, he was a believer. When it comes to execute justice, you just have to apply what is required. There is nothing like, no, I'm a Christian and the like. No wonder. Karaka briefcase, it is the symbol to say, Papa Mdala, you rule this country based on the constitution and the law. Which means everyone will be saying, and we are going to have anarchy in the country. Because everyone will be looking at we have a soft president. But look at the likes of Abena Mwanawas. I think Brother Pombo, you remember how we came those days. I'm sure Naliko Mukuru. Twale mfata wa flash bale rumba. Atao mukari cabbage. You see, there were no nonsense. Yeah.
So yeah, fast track. Oh, when the folks are introduced, I'm a fast track. Katuishinga court shan fast track.
Yeah, that is a very welcome move. No, but tafile bomba kali Brother Muna. We are just here. Tafile bomba. We need those facilities to be functional, so they clean up the system. Ala, huku bachimbula koba UPND. Kabwala la takwa turusi. Because kabwala la ngaingira mungandanga wapwala la. Bonsenga mulire mfuti. Ala kulasa. Niwa bwala balira pokulasa. So it should be born in the UPND to say we lost Mwanawasa. Because I don't know of Katwishinga Kuba Wino. We lost Basata because of Ukuba, we don't send the win. So we don't want to see that happen. Actually, to 887. It should be proactive. Let him apply the law and the constitution because we have evidence. The country has evidence. And even himself, like he was saying, to say now is the chief, is the chief investigator, is the chief intelligence officer. He has all that information. I'm sure he's not articulating all those figures in a vacuum, Brother Muna. He has the information on the fingertips. Now, why is he taking time?
Why is he telling us? He should just ask. Yes. Why is he telling us?
Yes, that's what I'm also. Yes, that's what I'm also emphasizing. Why is he the president? He is the one who is wasting time. Not if that quite power. He's saying, no, I don't want to behave like these guys the way they behaved. No, Mba, this is an extraordinary thing which has happened in the country, which needs extraordinary measures. That is the simple psychology. Extraordinary devastation of our country's resources and money needs extraordinary measures to recover them.
And then put one more thing we can say is ababa PF my veterans mukuchayo tumagwagu balagwagula in the wise words of Bowman Lusambo. That's why during his interview for Diamond TV he said I've got very intelligent lawyers. Abena makebi barishibo kugwagula barishibo kulisha pwemingalato. That's why they are just saying utuma small physically present. Just two words, physically present. Bowman Lusambo afumana muchive. Built 10, built 10 because they know how to play the game, they know how to put in these loopholes. So the UPND quite alright. Abengi barefuma fe munsalapa. Most of our councillors taba kwata sana MP abarerisha ne yo MP shot for she no so bachiri nensala bachina kada kamwe so kada tabara kali pasana mu game so ngabare angala na ba PF bara ifunyamo mu mashinsha bara pupuluka no mbalina pa so that's why we need expeditious moves in the shortest period of time. Of course, we're not really saying go for the innocent. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying go for the blatant culprits. We know these things. Even a grade 3 knows. The problem. A contract was breached, obviously. You breached the contract. So that in itself is a problem. So kubalonga ko 2 weeks amano yala esa yesu kebara sonte yo twarina abanaba. So that's how you do it. At least these things we need to at least come to the bottom of these problems and see some results. Gentlemen, what's your say?
I think Brother Moon,
go on, Babos.
I think that is the way it's supposed to be. What you have articulated is how it's supposed to be. Because Brother Moon, kabwala la fe weta bafi efo bamuchitafie basi ID ama pife batoba. Now what more somebody honestly to the extent of killing an individual? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Because we witness serious filth matters in our country. So now if we are going to be soft, if the administration is going to be soft on this one, they should know we add some of the information, deletion, Ministry of Lands, Korea. What are we waiting for? So they think and you know, if I'm a lawyer defending the nation, you know, Brother Muna, even if they can put in the clause of physically present, who formulated that NATO group? We need to ask the owner of that.
Yes.
And who still fall on Bowman Lusambo. Because maybe because they think they are the only ones who knows how to think and the like. Because you know, if I own a company, if I have a group, Brother Muna, if that group according to law, it goes somewhere and misbehaves, it will fall upon me, you know, as the owner of that group. That group, it is clearly known that it was sponsored actually by this big, I don't know. So even if they are going to infuse this word physically present, we will still question on the NATO group, which was
not questioning them now, going to them and pick them one by one. That was violence. We have evidence on clips, on videos. What are we waiting for?
So in America, there's this racketeering law that they introduced to prevent people especially mafia gangs. You're not physically there, but you're sponsoring and funding illegality. So there is this law, which is a very important one. This is one of the reasons why they say that you don't need to be directly involved. You can be indirectly. So long your name and your funds are attached to it, you are also liable to be prosecuted because it is some sort of intent. So this particular law, racketeering, it's a very big law in America, which they use, especially the FBI's, to go for criminal gang members, mafia, and all that stuff. So these are the things that we're supposed to be talking about, not that physically present. You know, do these things. Racketeering. Formulate a case from this.
You know the reason why they are using these gymnastics, because guys but they think what Zambians Zambians information. But in according to Brother Muna, somebody might come to me and say, no, maybe Jason is not eloquent enough and the like. But I'm telling you, so even if he was not physically present, who was sponsoring this NATO group? It is him, it was his personal gang actually. It was his personal gang. So this personal gang, it will fall on Bowman Lusambo. We are not even beating about the bush. If there are lawyers, listening to this, they need to bear this in mind, to say people are aware, and we are going to push the government to say, if you are going to scot Bowman Lusambo on the issue that he was not physically present, then how support Brother Muna, think protest
peaceful protest, and we're not trying to incite any violence because
we are not in the PF regime.
Yes,
it is just to go the pirate way.
Volunteer nkafula naiperesha gentleman nkafula ine.
So Bali taking advantage but Zambians, they don't read. But what they should know, that there are people actually who are very much concerned about, safeguarding our nation. Zambia is our heritage. Some of us, we are very, very actually, I don't know how I can put it. To the extent that Brother Muna, though we were zipped up, but I was furious. Even the sentiment I used to pass, Because even Nama guys, Nama councillors, I was telling them direct to say, guys, you are not going to make it because people actually have changed your mind. You are doing foolish things.
And the reason why we're doing all this is because kuli abalanda, kuli abana banshiwa, kuli abantu abalefwa because we don't have proper medications. There's a lot of things that we can do with that money. That's the reason we're talking about these things, because there's no way, since we've got the platform, we've got the ability, we've got the energy. That's the reason we are advocating for these things. But if we just keep on staying silent and not doing anything about it, it means these people are going to be motivated to do more and more. That really means more people are going to be not helped. There will be more street kids. There will be more people dying in our hospitals because we don't have the money to procure and buy different devices and all that stuff. So this is going to be a repeating cycle. That is not what we want. And this is one of the reasons why we're saying, look, the government, we're not even lawyers, but we already know what racketeering is all about, and we already know how to counter what Bowman Lusambo was, jubilating about. This is something which is working in the United States of America. It can also be, used in Zambia as well. And we're but we're able to see these things. Don't I'm a qualified lawyer.
Thank you, Fupa, brother Mona. I think what ama guys are kama katwali umfwa. Tulo umfwa kaira patali fore umfwa kuzali powder sana.
Na kwenda kuzali kwa hivyo umuti wa kubona.
Not on merit. Not on merit the powder. Because these guys honestly they are qualified based on merit, Some of these issues, they are not issues that they can even be playing like we are playing games. They are straightforward. Take for an example, brother Muna. Nganasa bura motoka yandi. Na pela umuntu shkwete license. Ila motoka ngayapa ngakantu mundu. Muremva brother Muna. They are going to follow me up.
Of course.
So if hapana ifotola chitadweo ni pali nato. Bena badabika pa physically present. If we to ala chitakutwala ingisha po nato. Who was sponsoring that group? So the owner of that group has to be questioned because he might find some space to sneak out of this case. But the court has to ask to say, well, there is this group called NATO, which was terrorizing actually people during the campaigns and the elections. Who was sponsoring this group? Because maybe they are not thinking about that. But
to allow us to advise, Ngawaka send that as a defense mechanism the candidate was not found physically to be part of that group of thugs. Ngawaka Sendeira number, we are going to say this. We will ask Bowman Lusambo, do you agree that the NATO forces were violating the freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and they were a criminal gang? Do you accept that? Ngalan that I accept, but then we start by senda one by one. It's very simple. I'm not a judge. This is just common sense. Uwale batuma ngakana baswa balabe nenga mwaya batwala umumwa mtwala kukabwe umumwa mtwala kukasama umukuli Livingstone baya kala ko 3 weeks mu prison baya bepshako bamwipusha nani wale kutuma bakalanda. The same people are going to be the witness to point at Bowman.
Anyway, gentlemen, moving on. Let's talk about Zambia Airways. What do you think about this new development? Zambia Airways. At least we've got some pride of some sort. Anyway, let me hear your thoughts.
Brother Mona, Brother Muna.
Shimikeni bosses.
Kuna material wamiletereyo ine amabilioni katishingani yanga. Ile about dated ichipempere efipupuka. I don't have much comment, but you know, na chisa seka ukumona ka price, how much it costed, and look at the facility itself. Shari pashile ndeke brother Mune ishama pipindo shiria. Why say shani shama yakoni?
Atama pipindo.
Ndeke kaini. Kwali sa creation kafyo mwela shiria. Ama Zambians lindaba kapishi befinti. Shaka leshka tishinga shamuna intinshingo. Kakatishino ko wife. So mwandini inspect pona amashiwi because the expense maintenance. Chimwatu washita moto ka online brother Muna chaisa chisasa. Mwana na mapipindo beka.
Mukati kwati ni sacha.
Kwati GVM basi yakareida na mwana spuna. Because you cannot compare it to the new buses that na mtuma zo mtonto aba China. Kapo bwino ka.
But anyway, in all they can at least juice, there's intention at least. You see, maybe in the future we're going to improve. This is just a beginning. At least it's something. Later on, we can try to improve and make our airline better. But personally, I'm very happy and I'm very excited. And I just wish we can improve on our services and get better plans and better plans of high quality. That's what I can say. At least not kwata kwa pa kuambira. At least not kwata kwa pa kumakoko konangu fisa sa so at least Zambia Airways sto apupuka but we don't know
cost of maintenance kaidi brother Muna. Cost of maintenance it will be consuming kaidika procedure at the end of the day.
And then there's this private airline. Is it ProFlight? Do you think what's the dynamics between ProFlight and Zambia Airways? Is there going to be like any conflict? Before you even answer that, right? In order for them to show us this plane, it means this was the best plane over Kwete. The best plane. If you are sharing in so this is the best that they had. This is the creme de la creme of all the planes that they own. So anyway,
Muna, this Zambian Airways, I think for me, wrong timing. The idea might be a very good idea to have our own airline, but the time is absolutely wrong. We are now closing. We are restricted. There is movement restrictions. There will be COVID restrictions. If you are not vaccinated, you cannot even enter into that airplane. And if we end up Pandola Parusakefi, how many passengers flowed in Dola Airport to come to Lusaka? No. We have here in Mwachilanda airplane. We have Ethiopian. We have that Egyptian. I don't know if it's an Egyptian. Yeah, we have about four planes avesa Pandola to fly around to Lusaka. They're about four. Plus Zambian Airways. Zambian Airways, what is going to happen is this. Muri in 1 month, kuna COVID restrictions, they will start losing. They won't make profit. And it will just be a burden on the government again. Na chisa mwana conditions indicate at 40%, 51 Zambian, 49 Ethiopian, all those percentages and all these things. How do you start a Zambian Airways with all these crazy things, crazy proposals? Why do you call it Zambian Airways? it is 49 Ethiopian percentage and 51 is Zambia. Well, why do you call it Zambia anyway?
Yeah.
Come on. We would have doing okay partnership with Ethiopian partnership. Zambia Ethiopian partnership. Not Zambia Airways. When you have 49 Ethiopian, 49%. Bamuna monene epo ndeba ifie katwishinga bali tulowa. Mushaifo fwewe na Zambia bali tulowa. Why do I say this? President Hakainde Hichilema, we are going to speak loudly here. President Hakainde Hichilema, na bapela gratuity ama miners ain. Na bepo bufi ama mines.
Ama tax exemptions.
Tax exemptions for how many years?
For a good time. So
Katwishing and 5 years. Tax exemptions 5 years. Although by Ethiopian Airline first day wakachita they will get from Zambian Airways 49%. Bamuna maumfensele ishininsele chimono kutukawe na Zambian sele. By Ethiopian wakabura 49% of the income ya kakandeke. If we mine yes, so free of charge for 5 years, what is wrong with us? I can't understand this.
Anyway, brother Oscar, while we are talking about Ama Mines, let's talk about how Zambians can, start maneuvering and just benefiting from the natural resources. How can we help ourselves manage our resources properly? What ideas? What's the government? So how can Zambians get involved? What does it take? Anybody? Panelists.
Vamuna, I think kalaka idea mwadela and that abantu wakatampa vena Zambia wakambeko kuta protest. I know it's a good idea, but kuline nsala, we are going to lose. It's the Zambians who are going to lose here. Tatukwete, if we don't have even some enough money in the bank so that ngakwabe chilala na ngukwawa kwensala wayafu nyako fya kampia kubanki wayalia. Abena Zambia tabako tatuako ata abengi. Akampia kubanki akawafe pa safe side tatwa kwat. So ama minerals mwe 1 this is a very good topic, I think, for me. Ama minerals, we have to ask to take. I'm encouraging the youth who are using social network, internet, because really we can challenge our leaders. I would not talk about what goes on with KCM, with Mopani, the mining industry. The fact that the government itself have not reviewed to the Zambians the contracts and the system and whatever goes down Mudia Ama mines. How much money is done in 1 month? How much money does the mines gain in a year? Tabatwe bako inenshaishi walimbi inendi mututu fedimine bofene mututu neka. Nomba nshaishi waine. Tabatwe bako how much money wa KCM bapanga in a year, not in a year. To allow pali 1 month. In a month. Pakwati tuishiwe how much money stays in Zambia and how much money goes outside. Right. Then ama minerals in nalalanda soba muna. Nalalanda this. I am a buyer of some of the goods. Pali eBay. Na kuriba another network, which is that? Which one is that one? I don't remember the one. But Amazon. eBay, Amazon. Olona mwishiba Amazon, the owner of Amazon, he is the richest nombo pangile mpia under COVID.
Jeff
the
Bezos.
guy, the guy made billions and billions of dollars. That guy in 2 years, selling online. So regarding of our minerals. Please, panel, I'm not dictating anyone, but I'm just trying to portray what I'm thinking. Twalikwatama precious stones, ama minerals, twalikwatama diamonds, twalikwatama gold, diamond, especially nalanda third-party gold nama diamonds. Mwalishiwa panel to sell these minerals online. Na started publicizing Ninkwata 5 grams, 20 grams of gold, class year gold ni, I am selling it online. You have buyers. We have a lot of buyers applying to buy that mineral online. No, Baba Zambia, inena ala sta propose. Mwe ba Zambia, okay to ala isalami gold mine ile hakuna ntwisale. Aba youth bakulaya mukwimba free of charge bakasende na are na minerals. Kind of that we don't gain anything. The Zambians, they don't gain anything. So then we'll start selling online. That is my proposal. Not only ama diamonds, but in a gold in Ushengi mwenga mwaimba kala uriomu rumendo. There's a young man kuna niwa imbireka gold akali weso katuishing like a brick. You know, it was as big as a brick. All of pepe kama guys once pepe kabale for affair in a gold in shan. Nomba uremendo yanga kwata such a thing. Then was publicized. Do you know how much money is that? Kansi abama politicians in Gabala to fisefyama god, whatever goes down there, tabat whoever. How much money does Zambia benefits in the gold mining? How much? By Ethiopia wakabura 49%. Na ipusha in a question kuliba Hakainde Hichilema. Muri gold mine. What is the percentage that the Zambian government takes? Thank you. I'll submit.
Yeah. And then just to add on to that before other panelists chime in, right? This is what China does. By the way, Elon Musk is creating one of the biggest electric vehicle factories in China. But the irony of the whole situation is that China, Bafunia, these types of minerals from Africa. So they are basically getting these minerals from Africa, Zambia, Congo, etc. And they are going to facilitate the vision that Elon has. China doesn't have any mukula in their, respective areas. They get all these mukulas from Zambia, from the DRC, and all that stuff, and they are able to fine-tune it and add value to it. So all these mineral resources and all these resources that we have, such as mukula and all that stuff, but China add value and they make an ecosystem that allows them to thrive. Now, my question is, why don't we do value additions by ourselves? Number one, is it because we don't have money or we don't have the will? If we do not have the money, right, why can't we crowdfund? We can easily crowdfund if the government doesn't really have money in their coffers. And most of these mines, they don't really need a lot of money, because last time a mine in Zambia needed less than 100 million US dollars to set up its operation. Less than 84 million US dollars. This money can be crowdfunded not only from Zambians, but from even all the people that really want to contribute. You can easily use the blockchain, raise the money, and raise these funds, because there are companies that don't even have any working products, no prototypes. They are raising over 800 million US dollars. A software company is able to raise 800 million US dollars without a working prototype, without an alpha product, and they are able to raise such amount of money. Number, if we're about Zambia, we already know that we've got these mineral resources. Pamushidi wesu. Are you telling me that we can fail to raise upwards of 100 million US dollars and have these mines operating? Moreover, we have Rwanda. Rwanda has got a lot of things which are happening with regards to refineries. They've got gold refineries. They are making phones. They are starting to assemble vehicles. Akale Muzambe twareshta assemble ifintu twareshta assemble injinga imyontoka. But what happened to our innovation? So is there do we not have the manpower, or do we not have the money? So that's my question. Finish fishupa. That's the question that I usually keep on asking myself. Finshi ifishupa. Impia takuri nanguni willpower. Brother Perry.
Well, let me just maybe respond on the reason why most of the things are pretty much processed in China. The first one is labor. labor is very, very expensive elsewhere except from Asia. And then you are going to get expertise knowledge at a very minimal amount, you know. So that's why most of the things are pretty much shipped to China and other countries. Now, the other thing is you raised a very important question. Why don't we do value addition to the products that, or natural resources that we have? That depends on the government. Right now, I can tell you, if let's say the president was say, okay, guys, we need so much for us to set up a processing plant for this. Whoever contributes this amount, each one, let everyone contribute. Let's raise capital, as you rightly said, crowdfunding. There is so much money in houses in Zambia. We can raise that amount of money, including the people in Zambia and in diaspora. So it's just the, for lack of a better term, I would say it's the willpower, and I would say maybe government's lack of publicizing this thing. Because the government can say, okay, we need so much money to create a processing plant for manganese or for batteries, whatever it is, you know. And then
Graphite, cobalt.
Exactly. And then they'll say, okay, this is how much we need to raise. If you're in diaspora, if you're in Zambia, contribute. Each amount you contribute, let's say you get 1 share or 2 shares, and then float those shares. That amount of money will be raised. But as long as we keep on looking outside for help, some people will just come in our backyards and you know, get the money, and we're just left with the bag, you know, like there'll be pollution left and diseases and all that, and they've gone away with the money. So it's just for the government to create that environment that fosters investment. So that's basically what I can say. Because if everything we're going to be running for help, it's not going to take us anywhere.
Right.
Look at the tax holidays these guys are being given. Like, that's insane, you know. That's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brother Jason, any contributions?
Yeah, I think, you know, according to the little knowledge I have about economics, the only way that you can boost actually the economy of a country, you know, you need to have some manufacturing companies where you'll have value addition, because you know, if you keep just taking out raw materials in their raw form, it means you are just going to benefit in the minimal way, and those guys who are going to manufacture, they are the ones who are going to benefit more. Look, we have like here in Rwanda, there is a Zamefa company, but surprisingly, you discover that Zamefa actually sometimes they even don't have a stock of copper. Meanwhile, copper is mined here in Zambia. Yeah? They are not given copper as they should receive it. So the problem, I'm sure, is with the government, they don't have clear policies concerning the investors, the foreign investors that are engaged. Because actually, I say that the government can even impose to say, no, if you come to mine in our country, I'm sure if you want to be selling, you can be selling, let's say, like 30% of the copper in its raw form, and 70% must be processed. But to discover that those guys who just come in, they are not given such conditions. As such, they just do things the way they feel like doing. I mentioned last time to say, we have got an industrial area, Brother Muna, which has just lied idle. If the government actually has plans and they have got ideas, they can lobby for some manufacturing investors. Even Angfema plastic bags, Brother Muna. Even Angfe, yes, Nangtureza. Okay, we are going to give you this incentive. If you come and put up an industry, we are going to give you, there is a plot. for the next 3 years, not that tax yotri for Perama miners. We just hear they mine copper, but meanwhile, they also benefit cobalt, they also benefit gold and other gemstones. So if the government can just look for those small manufacturing industries from where they are going to say, oh guys, come, we are going to give you an incentive. They are just idle areas. They are built. So we are going to just like furnishing here and there. You work there for 2 years without paying rentals. So long, you know, and we are centrally located whereby we have got markets. Being a landlocked country, we have got market whereby we can supply Tureza ku Concourt, we can supply Tureza ku Zimbabwe, ku Malawi, Mozambique, and other countries like Botswana. You see,
Well,
now I don't know why the government has always been like engaging investors who just come here. It is either they mine or the investors who just come to do business of buy and sell. The same business you are doing, murepunkana na mumause o brother Muna, trapunkana na Chinese. Ure kungura sopo na wale kungura sopo. But somebody came as an investor in the country. What sort of investment is that? They need to engage people at least who can come and put up to my manufacturing industry to say, okay, if you can start manufacturing soap, we are going to allocate you an area, and these are the incentives. Empower Abantu in that very community, but we don't know what the government thinks in that area. We don't know, Brother Moon.
Yeah, Perry, you've got an objection. Then we'll pass it over to Sister Numa.
Yeah, I've heard this story of Zambia not manufacturing needles and laser braid. That industry is not sustainable. You know, the cost of setting up all that is more than the revenue you're going to get. So let China manufacture those things. If I were to ask you how many laser braids do you use in your household, you find that one is used like in a month. So that's not sustainable. But
there's a market. But there is an existing market, and people do import these on large scale.
Right.
You know, I use
let's focus on the minerals. Let's process the natural resources that we have, and make more money than focusing on laser braids and needles.
Yes,
that one I've always refused.
Yeah, it's just an example. It's just an
Brother
example.
Perry, I think I used that one as just an example.
As an example, yes, it was an example.
We are saying, I don't know if you followed me when I just started to say this government, if they can impose to say you have come as a mining investor. So now what will happen is 70% of whatever that you'll be mining, it has to be processed within 30%. If you want, you can sell it in a raw form. That one is attainable. Rwanda has managed to do that, Brother Perry. Rwanda has managed to do that. You just have to impose sometimes as a government. You impose. It is you with the resources. Those people, they are just coming to beg actually to do business using your resources. So
that's a profound point.
Jason, if I can just add on that point, your point, it's very important. Mr. Moon and all the panelists, let's reflect on what has happened in this COVID variant in South Africa. They have discovered that COVID variant in Botswana. Okay, I think I read something and they said they discovered the first case was in Botswana. Then in South Africa, 1, 2, 3 people. There are very few people who have discovered this variant. What happens now? The European Union condemns all southern SADC countries. All SADC countries has been termed red areas. They cannot move. We cannot fly to European areas, and we cannot even fly to the United States. Now, Monen, these people, they impose on us things which does not come from us. COVID, even here in Italy, takwaba variant, but we have a number like 70 people dying a day. 70 people dies even now when we can move without a mask. But we lose about 70 people dying of COVID even here in Italy. By UK, United Kingdom, tabachita blacklist by Italy from flying to England. Okay? By Italy, by France, by Poland, by Germany, tabachita blacklist by Israel, because in Israel there is about 70 people dying of COVID daily. Look at this now. How can they treat, not one country? They have treated the southern region of Africa just like one country. What is the point? What is my point? My point is this.
The beggar is not a chooser.
Ababantu aba ifwe nalaba ompyako fe ekibemba kyakukoppala baali tuddelela fwe bena Africa. Alabali tutelela nga twatituseko fe bievu fira bashita bievu ababa nani kane ba teki mwalichoko baba bashita ba teki bali kwatama ama nani kane ababa butukie ku Syria babeta jamashani ama refugees from Syria nishkwali nkondo ba teki bali kwata abantu nangu at 2 million Syrians muteki mo basunga. Olo ba Europe ati mwilalanda sana pantu tukesa miletera babene ba 2 million twala batuma ku Europe. So by Europe, what they do is this. They give 2.5 billion United States dollars every year so that Turkey yasunga wariama refugees. Nomba ifwe ba Zambia, ba Southern Africa ifwe takwa bali tutola babantu na imwe bali tutola ndemieba.
Olo, before we pass it over to Sister Nyoma, right? One thing that we have to know is pakopa turanda ti ganao kwata sample baya tashupa. Mama nenka number if we behave as if we're not the owners of the natural resources, that's where we're consistently begging and asking and giving them tax exemptions. These people need us more than we need them, to be honest. Because if we're in a sample, ganao kwata sample baya tashupa.
That same point you have touched, Brother Mona, because it's like if I want to say like a customer calls me to say I want to buy your car. Are you getting me, Brother Mona? So what really happens? I'll tell that customer to say if I drive from Kitwe to Lusaka somewhere there, you are going to pay me for the fuel. You are going to pay me for the cost that I'll use for food, because it is you actually. If you want, you come this side, so that you pick it, So sometimes, a buyer has to put a seller has to put in certain conditions so that at least bon so much that benefit. Bon so much that benefit. But Mwalasangati, what really happens, I don't know. I don't know if these guys, they are just imperialists. That's what I know them. They are imperialists who want just to use us.
Yes, what happens is they give us conditions saying, Zambia mune folk sarapuka, ofo mune folk stefi, to alami chaya so, and then you'll be in more trouble. But one thing that we have to understand is there's going to be casualties. Ofo ya abafe, ifo tiriba kukopala, ifo ze bigi, ifo ngaure fo kusurvive pa street, imeropa shifure sha sumapo. That's one mentality that you're supposed to know. If you really want to be independent, there's going to be casualties. These are multi-billion-dollar industries that they're operating. Because they'll be like, okay, we'll stop funding you with this and that. But to put it to Aishwata, they don't to Ensala, but my kapupuluka because it to agenda kanani. Then we'll be controlling 100% of it. Although the other thing that we can be doing is kula bafuma mofe panono kula bafuma mofe panono not to kusaba bafuma mofe at one time ni panono they don't want fuma kwaka mairo fine. I really like how Russia does things, you know, but Russia badi champuka sana bala bafuma mo ba America panono but they're becoming stronger. That's the way you're supposed to deal with these people. Take we so kuba funya mofe one time one poof mwaida ine kula panono fine because they understand how to play the game. That's why ama leaders versus Balatina. They know all these things.
No, brother Muna.
No.
Since 1964, honestly. No, but when are we going to do that?
Now, if
I may ask Brother Muna on that same point, how has the Kagame managed?
Kagame kapondo. Olo tabakepa Kagame mwaishwa.
How has he managed? How has he managed?
Kagame kapondo.
It comes back, Brother Muna, actually, to the stakeholders. Mwamonaka, chimona in a trend of HH. Mwamona, if you want to see things work, no wonder the move that HH is taking, whereby it's engaging the ministers and the permanent secretary, of which they should buy in the idea that the guy actually is trying to put across. That is the only way you can help, actually, even to give the stamina. Kuri uri omuntu uri pamuru, but mwarasanga ngachakwe batimo mwe bali panshi imwe. Boss asara and that guys to arach things. Kuri aba de winter background. So which means you are going to pose a weakness. Kuri uri omuntu uri pamuru pa. I think for Rwanda, because
exactly we need to go and learn from Rwanda, because you saw what's happening in Mozambique. Rwanda pupuka churuka zona Tanganyika ko control into finish Mozambique. We need to send our special forces to go and learn from Paul Kagame, because this guy he knows how to play the game. If we don't really know how to play the game.
I know, because you know the man actually, this is what we are trying to push by HH to become, whereby look at even the late John Pombe Magufuli. As a president, you just have to commanding voice. Whereby if you see that there is dilly-dally here and there, you just have to be on the ground to say, guys, what is happening here? But judiciary, what is happening this side? Imwekumaini, what is happening this side? But bala baderera bamdala dia kwa bakesa mapata bamdala balesa pena ka story fiafine lecturing after a lecture twire to mama gwagu kunshu mwamona ka so let him just be firm like Abena Kagame after all at the end of the day there will be people actually try to know to buy change no to buy to my intelligent officers not abakote bali because abakote we never know they are loyalists to the outgoing regime. So the way he can manage, actually, let him just be firm as a father of this country.
And knowing how to play the game, because there's a lot at stake here. And, you know, we're having this conversation in front of casualties. You know, there's a lot of things that we can't talk about here, but learning how to play the game is key. Anyway, Sister Nyuma, give us your opinions, because you won't have a chance in but give us your opinion.
Yeah. How are you, everyone? And I hope you're all good. And good evening to the viewers. I don't know where everyone is, but I'm sure you're all fine. I've been following. I'm sure there was a part where I missed because the rains were just too heavy here. But I've been following from the time you started. First, I'll mention about the COVID. Just a little bit about the COVID, because I am where it's being hit. It's hitting us so bad here in South Africa. And in Zambia, one thing I've seen about the COVID is we take time. We take time to put measures in place. Measures like mask. Mask must be mandatory if we have to curb this thing. I don't know if we're going to curb it or not, but trying to slow it down. So we have to have a mandatory of wearing masks. Vaccinations, I'm not sure much about that, but those who need to be vaccinated, let them be vaccinated. Let the government manage the gatherings, large gatherings. I think I was hearing, was it today when the minister was talking, but talk also is cheap in Zambia. They give one thing on the media. What's happening on the ground is different. Everyone has got no mask. They only wear a mask when they're entering Pick and Pay. Other shops they don't have, you know. So any shop in the markets, let them let the measures that Masebo put out there be followed, and I think we'll be in good hands if that happens. But now let me talk about the Clique of Thieves. There was a time I was talking to you, Amuna. I think it was the early days of the lady that was I don't know that was in bedroom
Faith
bath
Musonda.
or it was all Feti Musonda. I had said something, it sounded like a joke, but I was serious. I said, people who, we know these people, they are very known. There's nothing like we start following the procedure. Yes, as much as we respect the law, process must be followed. But where there is evidence, really, we need to see people going to the police or courts or something if there is evidence. And last time when I was talking about this, I said any person who was in line or corruption must be investigated. Any person that is a friend to a person who was in corruption must be investigated. Where are our investigative wings in Zambia? Where are these people who are saying they tap their phones, they do what? Where are they? Really, like seriously. I was saying if we have to curb this corruption, let anti-corruption not handle this thing. Let Vadek not handle this thing. The president must commission a special investigation unit. He must commission an independent board that is going to investigate all of them. Because now we've got new permanent secretaries. But inside there, you know, PF took, I think it's about 10 years, or I don't know how many years they were in power. There is something in the system. Even if you remove the top leader, there are some roots that they've left there. There is something in there. The system is, they are well organized. They are well, their network is so good, including the judiciary, because we might be fighting a losing battle. It might go to the police. It goes to, by the time it goes to the judiciary, they're even laughing because it's a losing case. No wonder they are saying we are ruling, because maybe they already know the outcome of whatever that will go to the courts. So the president, I don't know whether it's the president or who, must commission an independent board that should investigate the ZRA, Bank of Zambia, Ministry of Lands, the council, the police, because we know there are some cadres in the police. The police has to be vetted. We don't know who is in the police. We don't know who's arresting these people. The police has to be vetted to a point whereby they have to check the people who are there. When did they get the job? When did they do their training? Where from? In fact, they should, and it's a must, that people must start reapplying for those jobs, whichever jobs that are in government, they should reapply so that we see how did somebody obtain the post that he is in. That is the post, because right now, if they say we start firing the top guys, they'll say, no, but there's this law, you can't fire this one, you can't fire this one. Why? Because these are civil servants. Let them be sent somewhere to go work and let them get transfers. Or let them put on forced leave, a paid leave until they investigate it. But now this is too late. So who is now the president is behaving frustrated with this thing. Now, if the president is frustrated, what will I do? I was already frustrated from the time he was late in dealing with this. Now the president looks frustrated. He's asking and he's mentioning, and you know, if the president gets to a point of mentioning the attorney general, mentioning the big names there is a problem there. The president can't just come and mentioning big names. So he is giving us a clue. But why is he giving us a clue? Why should he give Numa a clue? These people were supposed to be hearing the names. Oh, this one is being indicted. This one, but nothing, zero. Instead, they are saying, Bwezani Vintu, let's talk about this thing, then we'll see how we can go forward. What about these drug cartels that are in prison already? Are they also being offered the same deal that, okay, you bring whatever you got, or then we'll show amnesty to you or whatever? What are they doing exactly? So corruption is rooted. It's in the police, it's in the army, it's in the judiciary, Bank of Zambia, ZRA, Minister of Lands, in all government ministries. It is there. And the president has got no clue. They came with a UPND, with big guns, with what? They didn't know what was there in the office. When they arrived in the office, they were like, oh, it's like they were in a shock, you know? They were in a shock what to find there. I mean, I thought maybe we'll be hearing this one is fired, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yes, they've been firing some people, but the big guys who are on top there, they are getting jobs from the people. Their roots are already in there. So those small ones, let them be sent somewhere. The police, in fact, the police has to be, you know, I don't know what they do. I think they put them on transfers and, you know, otherwise we are not going anywhere with this thing. We're going, check what happened in South Africa. South Africa, Zuma is the one who came up with the commission of inquiry in the state capture. Check who was captured. The very same person who commissioned it. I don't know why he commissioned it. I thought maybe the judiciary is on his side, blah, 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 but they cornered him maybe. So they are big people, the Minister of Finances, big ministers, they were involved in these things. The same thing with in Zambia. We know the names, we know where they stay, we have the evidence, and these people who've got evidence, let them stop saying, no, we have the evidence. Let them take the evidence to it, and they should share it not in one office. It should be shared in all these other, so that if the other one destroys the evidence, the other office has the evidence. You see? So I don't know where we're going. The only part I wanted to contribute is that this thing of the corruption. We are going nowhere. It's a merry-go-round. That's all I needed to share.
All right. Thanks,
on my
Sister
side.
Newman.
Well, just to add on now on what Numa said, remember what I said last time, Muna? I said that, you know, this is not yielding anything because it has taken so much time for them to just come up one single arrest. You know, what will be the deterrent? What will force people not to engage in these vices? You know, and that's what these guys are not catching. And as I said, the longer they delay, the faster these guys are going to hide the money. You know, for lack of a better term, I would say the president has just been barking, and if a dog just barks without biting, everyone else would take advantage of it, and that's what's happening. You know, like something has to be. There has to be a deterrent. Right now, there's no deterrent. You know,
they're even begging them in the parliament that bring whatever you stole, and will, you know, bring. They're begging them actually to bring what they stole.
You cannot seek accommodation with an abuser. You cannot seek accommodation with a gang. You cannot seek accommodation with people like people who kill others.
If PF won, Hakainde Hichilema.
You know, this is, you know, as I said,
you're gonna be behind bars.
No, but what I'm saying right now is
begging for amnesty.
One, there's no laws that are preventing this from going further. So if let's say right now these guys are supposed to, you know, change the constitution so that they protect the country from further looting going forward, even if UPND was to leave office, we know that the country is protected. But how can you work on the same principles, same laws that, you know, advantage others? I think for me, it's just a waste of time. Let's just forget about this arresting. You have the information. They tell us that they have information in parliament, and then they're doing nothing about it. It's a waste of time.
Look at Zesco. Look at Zesco. Look at Zesco, gentlemen. The people who have been fired, they have been put in a team to investigate the blackout. Yes. Is there that? I don't understand. I don't understand. Ukusambirira kwetu, this cleanness of abantu besu aba, I think bale tulwalika pamala pantu apa ifwe twamba nokutina nabo fine tuletina
I think that's new. I don't know. Something was playing in the background, but I've muted her.
Okay. No, it is very scandalizing. I mean, what is happening? I don't know. Even if you don't understand, we fail to understand. Why are they hesitating in disclosing? But President Hakainde Hichilema, what are you waiting for to disclose? President Karia. Eveni chalo. Don't feel sympathy or compassion. Why don't you disclose? Tell the people. You have the details in State House. It's very difficult. Let me just say, contribute something like on COVID, like my sister was saying. Then I might start off now. I'm going off.
Yes, we're even about to close and conclude. So just give us a concluding remark. Then we wind it up.
On COVID, I've heard in Zambia there are some discussions who say, well, we want to be free. They are the rights of universal rights of any citizen. We are not supposed to be obliged to be vaccinated because we don't know also what is in that vaccine here and there. All the suspicions, I mean, all the hypotheses, I think they are correct. We don't know what we have been given. I would cite one point, one evidence, for example. Vatuletera Pfizer, vatuletera AstraZeneca, vatuletera Johnson & Johnson, vatuletera Yamacha, vatuletera Neama Israel. We don't know what is, and all the Zambians are not taking the same vaccine. So if all the Zambians are not taking the same vaccine, don't tell me, if you have some vaccine, it's not the same. That's why they have different names. More Africa, we are just receiving gifts. Zambia has been given by the Russians. Zambia has been given from the Russians 1,000 vaccines. Then you are Johnson & Johnson, America. We have given Zambia 3,000. UK, we are giving Zambia number. Mushenga tatukwe mwebantu ifwe respect yabena Zambia.
Brother Oscar, internet is doing its thing. But in the meantime, who else wants to give their concluding remarks? We wind up. Brother Oscar? Sorry, Brother Jason.
I've been wondering, looking at the way these criminal investigations are being handled. That's why sometimes I even ask myself that, what discussion was there when Rupia Banda had arranged a meeting with HH na Edgar? What discussion did they have with these guys?
Yeah.
Those are some of the questions I ask myself to say, that's no wonder maybe we are not seeing anything moving forward, and maybe the guys.
Because Rupia Banda was mediating this flow of power,
but we don't know. So, about what we just have to tell the president is the president has to remember that Zambians are one of the people actually who are impatient. They are impatient, and there are people actually who believe in concrete things. To tontonganya mu concrete. If you are theory ama Zambians kwati tabafire senda sana, and especially that balifuma kuma injury ifirondana bakwata sana. So they should remember to say time is ticking. And even if it means to say abantu bamotubekateko, so that ichalo chimoni atawe ifintu fyachitika, because even concerning the issue of Forest 27, natambo kumfama issues are upside down. You know, it is just getting confusing in the country, you see. To say, no, they are still going to make further investigation before they make demolition. We don't know. Yeah? So what they should remember to say, Zambians actually, they were injured so much emotionally. That's why, Brother Muna, sometimes I get to understand you to say, that's why even my brother was reacting that way the last time.
He became
Because
passionate, not
yes,
emotional.
yes, abanchira kalipa sana, whereby namukwata nefishinga nebali kutoba n'olupi, limbira bakapokola baitana witness achishinga opoto ali bali mutoba. Again, the same investigative wings, they come back to say, we need to investigate further. You guys, you were present, you saw these things happening. Now, what other further investigation are we waiting for? So, as our president, bemini nefie, babe kofe femu fie. Babonte kofe na commanding voice to say, imwe ba anti-corruption commission, what are you doing that side? Imwe ba judiciary, ishimule chitoko. What games are you playing? Timbibala kwata kwa kamwenso. No manga chakwe batwara senda befinata barekeni bachitefi and the right. So that we start thinking about other developmental issues like we are discussing. We need to have at least processing industries for our minerals and the gemstones that we have. Those are some of the issues actually we need to be discussing. Not to issues ya mwe. Bamdala, bafile bachendra be basenda abantu right. You can see the rooks that was given. Kwisa mfava there are no allowances. Abantu atabale moneka bwino. So bamdala, he shouldn't take these issues to be so simple. They are very serious actually. So what we are lobbying for, let him step up some processes so that at least we don't want to go into 2022 discussing the same clique of whatever. 2022 has to be a year where we'll start now implementing actually the UPND policies. We want to do away with this clique of thieves in 2021. We don't have to go with these same issues. I'm a petition, Yamoyene Brother Muna, to after Christmas. We don't want to hear that. So, Baba pushing, Baba spunkanye, Kongamatra fast track, Baba Teba Concourt, Teba Ngwangu Ifindu, so that we look at other important issues. I submit, Brother Muna.
All right. Have a good one, Brother Jason. We'll be back tomorrow again. Enjoy. Brother Perry, give us your conclusion. We call it a day.
Yeah, basically, I was a little bit taken aback when I heard that regarding the Forest 27, they have to get a report and then see exactly what happened. And to me, I think it's an insult to the people, because one, you cannot bend the law to accommodate other people. You know, like that's an illegality. They're supposed to raise those buildings down and then plant trees there. You know, you cannot just say let's just let's see what you know that they've. If that's the case, let them just release everyone from prison, because you are bending the law to accommodate others, and that's not right. You know, what I would like to see is the president being firm. Like, if this is wrong, that's wrong. Not other people have stolen, and then you're looking for other ways of accommodating them. Everyone will start stealing. Everyone will start, breaking the law. So for me, I think right now, I think this leadership is making me doubt the aspiration that it actually got into power for. And there's right now there's no deterrence anywhere. You know, so I think the president needs to be firm and make sure that the law is followed. And regarding the COVID, it's I'll just urge everyone to take the vaccine because let's protect others by protecting ourselves. So that's all I would say. Thank you.
All right. Have a great one, Brother Perry. Enjoy your work.
All right,
Take
thank
care.
you.
Talk to you
Okay.
tomorrow. Okay, so we have Sister Numa, the last woman standing. Give us your
Yeah.
concluding remarks and we call it a day.
Yeah, I hope, can you hear me? There's too much noise from the rains. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah, you're clear. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm having a, let me just mute my line because it's there's a noise.
All right, so Sister Numa, so anyway, gentlemen and ladies, all the viewers out there who are watching us, kindly share this stream right now. I can see there's a number of you watching us. It really helps us grow. So share this video on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups. Sister Numa, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. So for me, what I'll say in my conclusion is that first, COVID is real. It has killed so many people, our friends, our aunties, so many people. So people must vaccinate. Those who want to vaccinate, let them vaccinate. Those who want to stay home, they don't want to vaccinate, let them stay home. And social distance, mask up, sanitize.
Sister Numa, your internet is tripping. I think it's because of the rains. Anyhow, let me just conclude it. Thank you very much for being part of Z Corner. Of course, we are here to serve you, and Z Corner is the community TV station where Zambian voices are represented. I always keep on telling you, if you ever want to find genuine, real sentiments of how Zambians feel about any particular topic, the only reliable source is Z Corner, because we've got real people, real voices. We're not really hiding from anybody or anything. We just tell it like it is. And of course, during our journey, we're going to be making some mistakes. That's how we get to learn. We are going to become better by learning through the mistakes that we're going to be, making, and hopefully we're going to be able to improve. So we want to serve you. We want to provide you with the information, which is very crucial. And one of the key goals that we have at Z Corner is to make sure that information is out there so that Zambians can be able to make very good decisions. The only reason why a lot of these past regimes were taking advantage of us is because it's because they know that Zambians are pretty much not aware of what's happening. They don't really know what is happening behind closed doors. So this is one of the reasons why we have this unscripted show where we talk about the things that are happening and how we can really get to correct and rectify certain situations, because we want to collectively improve as a nation. When you travel to countries like the United Arab Emirates, right, you obviously see how their government takes care of their citizens. If you look at the native United Arab Emirate, citizens, they are well taken care of. So this is one of those ideas that we have. We want each and every Zambian to have a very good life, a good opportunity. Of course, everybody needs to work hard, but there are certain roles and key functionalities that a government can perform in order to protect the interests of the citizens. So this is one of the reasons why we are here on a daily basis and we're talking about these things. Of course, sometimes we might get a little bit overboard, but hey, if we have a live stream, if unscripted shows sometimes do get rowdy a little bit, but we are most likely going to be very professional and we're going to be improving. So thank you very much. I really hope that you took the time to share this video and you blasted it everywhere. Remember, 5 different Facebook pages right now. So thank you very much. And I really understand that a lot of you powerful people do get to watch us. A lot of you just don't comment. A lot of you don't even say anything, but we know you are watching. All we are trying to say is, help the Zambian citizens. Do not be selfish. Do not be greedy. Think about everybody else, because we have a lot of street kids, a lot of vulnerable women, vulnerable children. We have a lot of medicine which is missing in a lot of different hospitals. We need to save money. We can only do this if we stop corruption. Anyway, let me not talk too much. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with my panelists, and we're going to be talking about the trending topics. So thank you very much. Have a blessed day. It's always good to see your face. Enjoy your day. Mulova de hand day. Enjoy and, be successful. God bless you and take care. Thank you, and talk to you tomorrow.